Why are faceless YouTube channels exploding in popularity? And how did a broke pizza guy turn one into $4.7 million in just 30 days? He never showed his face, never spoke a word, yet built a digital empire using only free tools and smart automation. In this story, you'll discover how the faceless channel model became his golden ticket, and why it might be yours too. The smell of mozzarella and garlic was his cologne, and the heat lamp his spotlight. Julian Jules Mendez had been delivering pizzas for nearly 7 years in the outskirts of Portland, a quiet, rainy place where dreams either grew moss or drowned in drizzle. His 2006 Corolla had seen better days, and his sneakers told stories of front doors, doorbells, and driveways across neighborhoods he'd never live in. But he was fast with his feet, and lately, faster with his thoughts. Every night after his shift, while others scrolled TikTok or dozed off to background Netflix, Jules buried himself in obscure YouTube videos. Not the flashy kind, the quiet ones. Narrated mysteries. Faceless documentaries. Dark background, white text. Channels with millions of views, and no faces. Who's behind these? He often asked aloud. One cold evening, soaked from a downpour and with his tip money reduced to coins, Jules watched a video titled, "This Janitor Collected $2.1 million Without Anyone Seeing His Face." The voice was robotic. The footage was stock. The story? Fiction, probably. But the views? Over 9 million. And something about that night, maybe the storm, maybe the delivery he made to a YouTube executive who casually mentioned automation, clicked something deep in him. That night, Jules opened a Google Doc and titled it, "The Vault Plan." He wasn't entirely sure what he was building, but he knew one thing. It wouldn't involve pizza. Jules didn't sleep that night. He paced between bites of leftover pepperoni, typing between gulps of dollar store coffee. His ideas were scattered. Terms like faceless channel, AI voiceovers, stock footage, and SEO titles bounced across his screen like puzzle pieces from a missing box. But when he stumbled across a Reddit thread titled, "How I Made $15,000 from YouTube Without Showing My Face or Speaking," his pulse quickened. "Faceless storytelling is the new wave," it read. "Use AI voiceovers, niche scripts, stock visuals, and clever titles. Automate everything. Monetize with AdSense. Rinse, repeat." That was it. A system. Jules had no experience in editing or narration, but he could write. And boy, could he tell a story. Every pizza delivery was a story. Every streetlight, every customer's weird request, every awkward silence at a front door, material. So he mapped it out like one of his deliveries. 1. Pick a niche. He chose true crime meets fiction, stories that sounded true, but were dramatized for effect. Mystery, suspense, big cash, irony, the stuff that held people hostage. 2. Write the scripts. He'd draft one per day. Flashy titles. Hooked intros. Cliffhangers. Always ending with a twist. 3. Use AI for narration. Tools like 11 Labs. Natural. Cold. Addicting. 4. Visuals. Royalty-free stock footage. Dark filters. Red text overlays. Quick cuts. 5. Automation. Schedule uploads. Queue 30 videos. Let the machine work. By sunrise, the Vault Files YouTube channel was born. A faceless channel. No Jules, no pizza, just voiceovers and unsolved mysteries. The first video title? The Dishwasher Who Hid $4.2 million in Dirty Plates and Vanished. It got 0 views the first 12 hours. But he uploaded another. Then another. Then another. By the end of the first week, he had 9 videos up. Still, no buzz, no likes, no tips. But Jules wasn't delivering pizzas anymore. He was delivering stories to a silent world that hadn't found him yet. Day 10. Jules was lying on his futon, phone face down, a cold slice of cheese pizza resting on his chest like a paperweight of disappointment. He had uploaded 14 videos so far. Still no buzz. No comments. No tips. He reached over, opened YouTube Studio one last time, more out of ritual than hope. Boom. 1 view. Then another. Then 5. Then 40. He sat up, stunned. One of the videos. The janitor who left a bank with $2.5 million and a mop had been picked up by the YouTube Shorts algorithm. Analytics: 1.3K views in 45 minutes. Jules felt his stomach flip. He clicked refresh. 3.2K views. 89 likes. 17 comments. 1 read. Who TF is running this channel? These stories are wild fire. Another. Subscribed. This feels like Netflix if it was run by ghosts. And the kicker. Just sent this to 5 people. More please. Jules blinked. This was real. He switched tabs, checked AdSense. Earnings, $1.37. Not much. But it might as well have been $1.3 million to Jules. He launched back into scriptwriting mode, adrenaline pouring into his fingers. By day 15, he'd scheduled 30 videos. The upload calendar was full till next month. He refined his formula. 3 to 5 minute stories. Intense intros. What happens next? Pacing. Use real names with fake details. Mention dollar amounts in every thumbnail. Then came the partnership requests, lowball offers from shady networks. Then came the sponsorship email. We love your channel vibe. Would you consider a brand mention in your next 5 uploads? $500 flat. His channel had just crossed 3,000 subscribers. He stared at the message, stunned. Jules had never made $500 that fast outside of pizza tips, and even that took weeks. He tipped his cap to the night sky. The delivery guy had just become the storyteller the internet didn't know it needed. Jules didn't sleep much after that first ping. By the time Monday rolled around, his videos were gaining momentum. Not viral, but steady. Predictable. Reliable. Day 16, $23.45. Day 17, $112.90. Day 18, $386.72. Day 19, $1,204.53. He sat at his crusty kitchen table, jaw slack. His pizza delivery bags were folded up in the corner. He hadn't used them in 2 days. The studio dashboard said it plainly. Estimated revenue, $4,029.18, last 28 days. Subscribers, 18,742. Top video, The Watchman Who Vanished with $10 million, 402K views. It wasn't just the numbers. The comments had taken on a new life. People were asking for sequels to fictionalized characters. They were debating whether the stories were true. One guy had even created a Reddit thread. Anyone know who runs Phantom Pizza Crime? Because I'm addicted. Another comment read, Bro, this voiceover channel is faceless but fearless. It's like Netflix, but no credits and no faces. A guy even tipped him $50 through a Cash App link he'd quietly dropped in the description. Jules laughed, leaned back, hands behind his head. He was anonymous, faceless, and getting rich. The irony. He hadn't shown his own face in weeks, but more people were watching his stories than had ever looked him in the eye while grabbing their pepperoni pie. Then came day 20. The day everything changed. Not just growth, explosion. One video. The plumber who drained $3.1 million from a mansion he was fixing got picked up by YouTube Shorts and Reels. 2.3 million views in 36 hours. Revenue, $1,872.79 in 1 day. Sponsor deal, $3,500 offer for 5 brand mentions. Jules closed his laptop. He stood, walked to the mirror in his bathroom, and looked himself in the eyes for the first time in weeks. Then he whispered, I'm not a pizza guy anymore. Jules paced in circles around his bedroom, his fingers twitching, breath shallow. The email had come at 8:47 a.m. Subject, Your first YouTube payment has been deposited. Amount, $4,712.19. Payment method, direct deposit, Chase Bank. He stared at it like it was a message from another dimension. For a moment, he did nothing. Just stood there, sweating in a faded red Domino's polo, the name tag still clipped to the collar. Then, action. He threw on a hoodie, grabbed his keys, and sprinted down the stairs of his apartment complex 2 at a time. Inside Chase Bank. The air was cold. Too cold. Jules stepped up to the ATM, slipped in his card, and hovered over the balance button. He tapped it. The screen lit up. Available balance, $5,121.72. He exhaled like he hadn't in weeks. Then tapped Withdraw, $2,000, just to see what it felt like. To feel money he hadn't earned one pizza at a time. The machine buzzed, hummed, and then cash. Stacked. Neatly. Clean. Unmarked. He grabbed it and laughed. Laughed. Out loud. In public. The guard at the corner raised an eyebrow. Jules just winked and walked out. Back in his car, he laid the money across the passenger seat. $2,100 bills fanned out like they were ready for a magazine cover. He took a picture of it. Then deleted it. Then smiled. No one needed to know. But that evening, the channel passed 100,000 subscribers. YouTube sent an email. Congrats, you're eligible for the silver play button. Where should we send it? He didn't reply. Not yet. He wasn't done being invisible. He was just getting rich. Jules sat at the tiny kitchen table, greasy pizza box pushed aside, laptop open, YouTube studio dashboard glowing like a spaceship console. $47,123.14. Estimated revenue. For the month. Month 1. He refreshed. $48,002.87. His channel was a monster now. Faceless. Automated. Voiced by AI. Scripted by ChatGPT. Edited by software he barely understood. He had 17 videos uploaded. Each titled like a Netflix thriller. The prison warden who escaped with $10 million inmate cash. This cop found $3.2 million in the trunk. And vanished. They thought he was just a janitor. Until the FBI showed up. And the algorithm. It was eating them up. Emails. Dozens. One from a VPN company. $5,000 to mention their brand for 20 seconds. A mattress startup. $3,800 for a one-time feature. Crypto wallet. Energy drink. They were lining up like customers at a pizza joint on Super Bowl night. And all Jules had to do. Copy. Paste. Upload. He wasn't invisible anymore. His voice might have been AI, but the revenue was real. His old boss had no idea. His co-workers thought he got a remote job at some scam startup. Even his neighbor, a nurse who used to tease him for always being broke, suddenly noticed his car had changed. Not a Lambo. Not yet. But a 2022 Toyota Camry in metallic silver. Bought cash. No questions. Jules called it the silent flex. No chains. No selfies. Just numbers behind the screen. $4.7 million in projection if the growth kept up. And the truth? He hadn't even shown his face once. Not in the videos. Not on Instagram. Not even to his friends. Jules was barely sleeping now, but not because he was working. He was watching it all happen. On his second monitor, YouTube Studio buzzed like a financial heart monitor. Comments pouring in every few seconds. Where do you get these insane stories? I know this is fake, but I can't stop watching. This channel is low-key better than Netflix. His subscribers? 426,000 in 31 days. He wasn't just building a channel anymore. He was building a universe. Then came the copycats. Channels with similar names. Some tried to mimic his thumbnail style. Dark, cinematic, blurred faces, money in the shadows. Others started hiring voiceover actors to read AI-written scripts. But Jules wasn't worried. They didn't know the formula. Didn't understand the pacing. Didn't have the instinct to end every video with a line that made people click the next one. They were chasing. He was leading. Then came the Discord group. Started by a fan. It blew up overnight. 5,000 members. Then 15,000. All speculating about who ran the channel. This has to be an ex-FBI agent. No way this guy's real. Probably a team of ghostwriters. What if it's AI running the whole thing? Jules read it all, silently. No one knew it was a pizza guy from Flatbush, Brooklyn, still living in a one-bedroom apartment above a bodega. He opened his bank app again. Balance, $197,441.31. He had finally quit his job. Didn't even give 2 weeks' notice. Just left a cold slice of pepperoni and a sticky note that said, "Thanks for everything. I found another route." He smiled at that. Another route. A pun. A private joke. Because now, Jules didn't deliver pizza. He delivered stories, and the world was ordering fast. The first email came at 4:12 a.m. Subject line: "Love your content. $35,000 for 60 seconds?" He thought it was a prank. He read it 3 times. The sender was from a major VPN company. They wanted him to mention their service in one of his Faceless videos. Just a single minute. $35,000. For context, that was more than 3 months of pizza deliveries. More than his mom made in an entire year at the laundromat. He almost choked on his cereal. That same week, more came flooding in. A crypto wallet company, $20,000 per vid. A survival gear brand, $12,000 plus free gear. A luxury watch startup, $50,000 for 3 videos, with tracking links and creative freedom. Jules realized something. He wasn't just earning YouTube ad revenue anymore. He was printing leverage. And he was still anonymous. But with fame, even faceless fame, came the creeps. A DM arrived on a burner account. "I know who you are, Jules. Want me to keep quiet?" Attached was a blurry photo of him outside the pizzeria on a Tuesday. He froze. He immediately changed every password, deleted old tweets, wiped his LinkedIn, even called a lawyer friend from high school. But there was a bigger decision now. Stay hidden or step into the light. His face wasn't in any video. His name wasn't on any documents. He was a ghost behind a $4.7 million digital empire growing by the hour. But ghosts don't get verified. Ghosts don't sit on podcast couches or shake hands with millionaires. Jules had to choose. Protect the pizza guy or build the media mogul. He stared at his reflection in the monitor, and then clicked upload on his next Faceless story. Still in the shadows. Still in control. Jules finds out that not every brand is as clean as it looks. When one sponsor goes rogue, the entire channel is threatened, and he's forced to go deeper than he's ever gone, into his own creation. The numbers were insane. By the end of week 5, Jules had racked up a 17M total views, a $226,000 in ad revenue, a $280,000 in sponsorship deals, and a Discord server with 23,000 faceless fans who called him the Ghost Editor. He could barely keep up. His calendar was stuffed with brand calls, voice only. His files, organized by campaign deadlines. His editor, who didn't know his name, had just received a $10,000 bonus in crypto. But then came the one sponsor that cracked the glass. They introduced themselves as Helio Investments, a crypto trading platform promising high returns. The email was sleek. The offer was massive. $80,000 for a 2-part mid-roll with a pinned comment. They even offered a $10,000 upfront just to secure the slot. Jules did his due diligence, as much as one could from a burner laptop at 3 a.m. He checked the site. It looked legit. Verified Twitter. Discord with thousands of users. Even a few influencers had partnered with them. So, he signed. The videos dropped. The payout hit. But within 5 days, things started crumbling. Reddit blew up with threads. Helio rug pulled me. $9,000 gone. Anyone else get scammed by that YouTube ad? Faceless Ghost Guy is promoting fraud. Then came the email from YouTube. We're investigating a violation of our advertising and deceptive practices policy. And then another. From an attorney. Representing multiple victims. Jules sat in his room, lights off, fan spinning, heart sprinting. He hadn't scammed anyone. He just made videos. But now, people were pointing fingers at him. He pulled down the 2 videos, refunded the $80,000, wrote a silent apology in his community tab without admitting fault. Then, he did something he never thought he'd do. He showed his face to his lawyer. The legal team wrapped it up quietly. No criminal intent. No lawsuit. But the lesson was branded on his soul. Faceless doesn't mean blameless. He couldn't hide behind his uploads anymore. He wasn't just a pizza guy. He was a publisher, a decision-maker, and people were watching. When the biggest anonymous creators in the world invite Jules into a secret mastermind, he discovers the line between underground success and dangerous visibility is thinner than he ever imagined. The invite was simple. No logo. No sender name. Just a subject line. "You've been noticed." Inside the email was a message, encrypted via Proton Mail, followed by GPS coordinates and a date, 2 weeks from now, in Zurich. Attached at the bottom, a single line of text. "We're watching you. It's time you saw us too." At first, Jules thought it was a prank. Then, he remembered something. Back when he posted his first $100,000 week screenshot in a Faceless creator Discord, a user named Echo.1 commented, "Numbers like that get seen. Be ready." Back then, it sounded cryptic. Now it sounded like a prophecy. He booked the trip under a fake name, wore sunglasses, and landed in Zurich with a carry-on filled with nothing but a burner phone and a hoodie. The GPS led him to a private co-working space tucked into the industrial heart of the city. No signs, no logos. Inside, the room was cold, minimalist, all white walls and glowing screens. 7 others were already seated, each behind a laptop, faces obscured. Masks. Hats. Hoodies. Nobody spoke their real names. One woman simply said, "We go by our channels." Jules sat. Someone leaned forward. Their voice disguised by a modulator. "You built a faceless empire in 30 days. That's either genius or reckless. We're here to make sure it's not the latter." They introduced themselves in code. A NovaFlick ran 19 faceless animation channels, 12M monthly views. A Brickriff, Minecraft storytelling king, outsourced 100% of content, made $120,000 per month. A Z3R0 Speak, AI voiceover guru, mastered retention manipulation through pattern interruption. A Faceless Wealth, black hat SEO plus dark web affiliate tricks. No face. All cash. Jules sat back, absorbing it all. It wasn't just a club. It was a syndicate. These weren't YouTubers. They were shadow operators, using media as leverage. Then NovaFlick spoke. "You're scaling too fast. If YouTube notices, they'll flag your network. Demonetize. Shadow ban." Brickriff added. "And stop showing off those earnings. You just made yourself a target." Z3R0 Speak leaned in. "You're not in the tutorial phase anymore. You're in the black zone now." They gave him 3 rules. 1. Never use your real voice. 2. Rotate your editors every 90 days. 3. Keep your earnings off-chain, off-paper, off-grid. And then came the final offer. You can stay solo and risk implosion. Or join the circle. We trade scripts, sponsors, thumbnails, AI tools, and audience behavior data. Jules asked, "What's the price?" They replied, "Just one thing, loyalty. If you leave, your empire vanishes." He left Zurich with a drive full of tools, scripts, and a list of shadow sponsors that paid triple the market rate. He also left with a number burned in his memory. $4.7 million. That was what they believed his first-year ceiling could be, if he followed the system. He didn't know it yet, but they weren't wrong. Coming in Part 11, the burnout that broke the bot. Jules scales faster than anyone before him. But as the money pours in, his team starts cracking, his AI makes a fatal error, and YouTube begins knocking on his digital doors. By mid-month 2, Jules was barely sleeping. He'd scaled to 7 channels, each dropping 3 videos a day, translated into 5 languages, and posted across YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook Reels, all automated. The dashboard looked like a heartbeat monitor spiked on caffeine. $90,000, $115,000, $137,000. Daily. But behind the digits, something was unraveling. One morning, his editor in Croatia, a 17-year-old prodigy named Luka, messaged, "Bro, I can't anymore. I've been editing for 19 hours a day. I'm starting to dream in CapCut. I quit." Then a voice artist bailed. Then the uploader bot glitched and uploaded the same video 62 times to one channel. YouTube's algorithm flagged it as spam. Demonetized. Strike. 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 3 channels. Gone in 12 hours. Jules panicked. He jumped onto the Zurich syndicate's encrypted server. Need backup. System cracked. Losing channels. A new message pinged. Welcome to the breaking point. Now we rebuild stronger. They sent a damage control file. Inside, emergency rebranding scripts, a clone thumbnails, a fresh metadata scrubbers, a AI voice changers to avoid detection, instructions for spinning existing content into new videos. The solution wasn't to slow down. It was to get colder, smarter, facelesser. Jules sat alone in his apartment, screens glowing like an arcade of silence. He spoke into his mic, not as himself, but as a voice-modulated AI avatar. This is not a channel. This is a machine. This is not content. This is capital. And I am not a person. I am the ghost behind the screen. He leaned back. Hit render. Scheduled 48 videos across 5 channels. Walked into the kitchen. And collapsed. He woke up 19 hours later on the floor. Phone buzzing. A text from NovaFlick. Congrats. You just crossed $1.3 million. Another from Z3R0 Speak. Burnout is the rite of passage. Now build it so it runs without you. Jules realized he had a choice. Keep running in the wheel, or build the wheel that runs itself. The next day, he stopped editing. Stopped narrating. Stopped scripting. He opened a new Notion page titled Exit Plan. And on it, he wrote 3 words. Replace. Automate. Exit. Jules is offered a $10 million exit deal, but it comes with a contract that would erase his story, his name, and his existence. Will he sign away his voice forever, or break the Faceless code?